Hi everyone, and welcome to video number 6 on the Weimar government and the rise of the Nazis. And if you remember, in the previous video we were looking at the year 1923, and I was trying to show you that that was a year where there were huge problems for Weimar Germany, and particularly to do with the economy. And right towards the end of the previous video I mentioned a man's name, Gustav Stresemann. And it's Stresemann that we're going to concentrate on this video, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to have a look at what he did and if indeed he helped Germany recover. Now, Stresemann, very lucky man, very busy man. He had 2 jobs. Now, the first job, President Ebert made him Chancellor of Germany, and later on he then became the Foreign Secretary of Germany. So he's the Chancellor and then he's the Foreign Secretary. This particular video, we're going to concentrate on what actually he did as Chancellor. The following video will look more at what he did as Foreign Secretary. So this one is all about Gustav Stresemann and economic recovery. Did he help Germany to recover? And if he did, how did he do it? So, Stresemann. 1923 had been a terrible year. Hyperinflation, people had lost their savings, people were very, very angry, humiliated and annoyed. When he becomes Chancellor, what were his aims? What do you think he wanted to do? Any ideas? Well, economic recovery was the first and most important thing he thought he had to do. Sort out Germany's relations with other countries, foreign affairs, regain their respect. That was the second thing. And then thirdly, try to bring political stability to the Weimar government. Remember, there'd been huge problems in Germany. Spartacist uprising, Kapp Putsch, etc. So there are his aims. Now, this video is mainly about the economy. Germany's economy had become very, very weak. Stresemann wanted to make it stronger. Or another word for strong, sturdy. He wanted to make it sturdy, solid, so it won't fall down. Sturdy, there's a word for you to try and remember. Now, what did he do to try and make the German economy strong or sturdy? Well, he did these. Let's have a little look. Stresemann, ST. US loans, U. The Rentenmark, R. The Dawes plan, D. And the Young plan, Y. Put it all together, sturdy. That might help you to remember what it was that Gustav Stresemann actually did. Now we're going to start with the Rentenmark. Now, if you remember, hyperinflation from the previous video, billions and billions of marks just to buy one egg or a loaf of bread. The German currency had become worthless. There are photographs, maybe your teachers might show you, of people burning money because the money would last longer than if they went and spent the money buying wood to burn. So therefore they just cut that out and burned the money. What does that tell you about the German currency? That people were willing to burn it. Utterly worthless. Here's a big problem for Stresemann, and he deals with it straight away. He introduces something called the Rentenmark. Now, he's got to try and re-establish the confidence, win back the trust in the currency. Now, this new German mark, the Rentenmark, was linked to land values and not gold. So that helped Germany slowly recover, and the currency did recover. No more were the 50 million marks or 100 million mark notes. No, he used different colours and returned it to 1, 5, 10, 20, etc. And it worked. After a few years, it was able to convert back to the old Reichsmark. So this new currency establishes trust and confidence in the German economy. It's a big tick for Stresemann. The Rentenmark worked. So that's the first thing he does. Rentenmark. Second thing, Stresemann recognized that reparations were a problem. Remember, can you remember what reparations were? Give yourself a tick if you've remembered Treaty of Versailles and having to repay for all the damage of World War I. Well, for the German economy, which was struggling, the reparations were unaffordable. So Stresemann says, look, we need help. And he went and contacted the Americans and an American banker called Dawes. The Dawes Plan, 1924. Germany seeks help from America. And the Americans say, Dawes says, right, we'll give you some help. We'll put new conditions on these reparations. The banker works it out. Dawes, this US banker. Now, bankers, of course, are very, very sensible people. So Dawes says, right, what we'll do is this. Repay, Germany, you can repay 1 billion marks in the first year, and then that will slowly increase, and it will go up to 2.5 billion marks after 4 years. This gave Germany a little bit of breathing space. They can repay a little bit at a time. In return, what did Stresemann get for that? Well, the French withdrew from the Ruhr. Remember the French occupation of the Ruhr? The French withdrew. That's good for Germany because they can get their hands again on their own raw materials, the iron and the coal in the Ruhr, and then they can sell that and that will help their economy. So the French withdrawing from the Ruhr was another tick for Stresemann. What else could Stresemann do? He's got the Dawes Plan. It's given Germany a little bit of breathing space. Well, I need a new hat. Stresemann goes still to America, and he says, now then, America, I wonder if you could help me again. Oh, yes, I've got my special American hat on. But if you see here, I have $1 US. Okay, so Stresemann realized that he needed US loans. Loans from America, the U of sturdy. Now, this is all linked in with the Dawes Plan. So he goes to America and says, look, thanks for giving us a little bit of time to repay on the reparations. Can you loan us some dollars? Now, 1979, one of my favourite bands was a band called the Skids, and they had a song called Working for the Yankee Dollar, Working for the Yankee Dollar. Well, Stresemann said, borrowing the Yankee Dollar, borrowing the Yankee Dollar. He borrowed from America. The first loan, 800 million marks, which then went to 3 billion marks over the next 6 years. This again helped the German economy to recover, and they were able to use some of those loans not only to try and rebuild the economy, but also to help pay the reparations, which would establish better relations with France, Britain, Belgium, etc. So the Dawes Plan and the US loans are helping Stresemann to make the German economy recover. What would be the reaction, do you think, in Germany to that? Well, the economy is better. The economy is recovering. The working class, the middle class were better off. Production, output is increasing. Employment is going up. More people are getting jobs. And because more people are working, more people are paying tax to the government. So the government's income through taxation was going up. So you could argue, and many people did, that Stresemann is helping the German economy to recover. But not everyone was happy. Extremist parties in the 1920s, they were still very, very annoyed, because they're saying, look, we're still paying back money for the Treaty of Versailles, which we don't think is fair. So some people were unhappy, and some people, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll come to this later, some people said, yes, fair enough, the German economy is recovering, but it's very dependent on American money. It's very dependent on American loans. What would happen if something went wrong with America? Interesting. We'll come to that one a little bit later. So, US loans also helped Stresemann. Now, let's have a look what we've looked at. Stresemann, US loans, the Rentenmark, the Dawes plan. We've got one left. The Young plan. Now, Owen Young, another American banker. Fancy a banker being called Owen, as in owing money. Sorry, no more terrible jokes. I apologise again. So, Mr. Young. Now, the Young Plan, 1929. He's another US banker. They come up with another new plan for German reparations. Those reparations are key all the way through the 1920s and beyond. The German government was still complaining. Many in Germany were still complaining. Yes, I know you've helped with the Dawes plan, but we've still got to pay too much. In the Young plan, this is what they said. New conditions again were introduced. The first one, very important. The Treaty of Versailles said, Germany, you've got to pay £6.6 billion back. Well, the Young plan said, no, we will reduce it. Germany, you only have to pay £1.85 billion back. Now that's a lot better for Germany. The Young plan is reducing the amount of reparations. The next thing that the Young plan did was this. They said, right, Germany, we're going to help you again. We're going to not only reduce what you have to pay, but we're going to lengthen the time that you can pay it in. In fact, they increased it by 59, 60 years. And they said, right, you can keep paying that all the way to 1988. Now, this was sensible, because for the government, it meant that they didn't have to spend as much money on the reparations. So therefore, they might be able to spend money growing the economy and helping the German people. So you could argue that the Young plan was actually helping the German economy. The German people have more money to spend. This is boosting the economy. It's boosting jobs. So it's a win-win situation here. Also, 1930, the French agreed to leave the Rhineland. That was a strip of land separating Germany from France. And in the Treaty of Versailles, Germany had been punished and said, you can't send your army in there, and France, we will organise and we will look after it. And France said, okay, we're happy with what's happening, we will leave the Rhineland. So again, Stresemann is getting something back for all of his negotiations with the Americans. The Young plan, on the whole, was generally popular. In 1929, at the time of the Young plan, Germany held a referendum. 35 million Germans voted in favour of the Young plan. That was 85% of all the voters who could vote. But, and it is there, it's a but, Germany's still agreeing to pay £50 million until 1988. Adolf Hitler and some of the other right-wing politicians were still against it. But at this time, they were in the minority. So there we have it. Gustav Stresemann, his aim to rebuild the German economy and make it stronger, make it sturdy. And he did it by sorting out the currency, the Rentenmark, getting American money to help him, the US loans, getting the bankers, Dawes and Young, to renegotiate and slightly alter the conditions regarding reparations. Most people agree that thanks to Stresemann, thanks to American help, the German economy did recover. But remember, ladies and gentlemen, that key point that I mentioned earlier. Was there an underlying problem? Was Germany now too reliant, too dependent on America? What would happen if America got into trouble? But that's for later on in the series of videos. For now, hopefully you've got the message of what Stresemann did to try to help the German economy recover. At the start of this video, I said Stresemann had two jobs. One, Chancellor, looking after the economy. Two, Foreign Secretary, looking after German relations with foreign countries, France, Britain, Belgium, the rest of Europe, etc. Well, I wonder how he did in that particular job. Well, as ever, the next video will tell you that. So, look out for that one, it'll be coming soon. Hopefully this one's been useful for showing you the German economy and recovery after the terrible year of 1923. All the best now, hope it's been useful. I'll speak to you soon. Bye now.